Fear is the best mechanism utilized by mankind to control man's mind. See through the fear. And I believe that is so true because a lot of people are afraid of something. Most people are afraid of something. And I really find this to sort of be like not true when people say, oh, I try to stay away from the news, or I try not to look at the news, because the news is all around us whether we try not to look at it or not. It's there. Even if you don't turn on the TV and watch news stations or mainstream media, you're going to get it through your social media. You're going to get it through memes that your friends send. If there's an imminent danger, it's going to come up on Facebook. It's going to come up on Twitter. You're going to get the news whether you claim to not look at the news. You're looking at it every day. It's all around you. It's in magazines, it's in papers, it's in books, it's plastered everywhere. So there's no escaping it. So especially when there's like an emergency where everybody is on alert or high alert because of a terrorist incident, there is something that is in the US that has people in fear. And if they put it on the news, you best believe it's going to be on social media, probably even faster than it is on television. And a lot of times people will pick up their cell phone. They have their cell phone wherever they go, when they drive to work, when they go to school, when they get on the bus, or when they drive in their car. They've got a cell phone with them somewhere. And on your cell phone, it isn't just about people calling you and you calling them. There is the internet and there is social media on cell phones, and people can surf on their cell phone and see what kinds of things are going on in the world. So there's no such thing as people talking about, oh, I try not to look at the news. Okay, right. Good luck with that. That's not going to happen. But anyway, I did see something that I thought was really disturbing, and I didn't even want to look at it after I saw what I was reading. But there is a lot of fear. If you just turn on the news, or if you just turn on social media, or if you look on your phone or you hear about it, people are afraid of a lot of things. The government, terrorist attacks. They're afraid of inadequate funds for the future. Being a victim of terrorism, gun control. People are afraid. They feel like they got to buy guns because of all the threats that are going on in the world, all of the discord and the anger. Loved ones dying, economic financial collapse. I've heard a lot about that. People being afraid that, you know, one day our money is not going to be worth anything, and there's going to be this big government and economic collapse. And then I've heard identity theft is a big thing. Loved ones who are seriously ill, that's a fear. You know, how did they get ill? Affordable Health Care Act and Obamacare, so that goes hand in hand. So there's many fears. Fears of whether your voting was hacked. And like I said, the gun control issue was a big thing. And people are afraid of a lot of things, rightfully so. And with that fear comes a lot of conspiracies. You know, who done it? How did it happen? Where did it happen? Who could have been behind or behind the scenes of whatever issue that has happened? You know, when there's a big tragedy of death or of a massacre, was there someone else involved? You know, a lot of people fear that CIA may be involved in some of the things that have happened with assassinations of presidents, like JFK assassination. That thing is coming back up again. There's a lot of fears that people are not being told the truth. People feel like they need to purchase like alarm systems for their homes because of home invasion. That's been a big thing that's been happening a lot lately. And I feel like it's because of the growing numbers of people who are worried about their economic and financial stability. They don't have jobs or enough jobs security to go around for those who maybe they have less education, they have a less skill set, so they don't have a lot of income and they're desperate, so they may get involved in a life of crime for survival. Not because it's something that is for a thrill, it's more for the survival of it. And this is what all the fear is coming from. And then you have private schools that probably have a greater number of students because people are in fear. And we've been seeing a lot of things happening in schools lately where kids are being abused or they're not being treated fair, they're being threatened, or there's been shootings in schools, or not enough security, or none at all. And like I said, back to the gun thing, fear that any government that wants to take away your guns. So people are afraid that, you know, they want to take away our guns. You know, we need our guns, you know. And so those are some of the things that have been happening more recently. And no matter where you look, no matter where you turn, even if you say I'm not going to turn on the news, it's all around you somewhere. And people are afraid of government, politics, the people who are in the White House, their decision making, their actions, and some of the things that have happened even more recent, you know, with the Trump administration. So a lot of things have been happening all around. So those are fears. Um, how will it affect our community and affect us as people living in the U.S.? Um, and some of the social programs that are being cut, more homelessness. On one hand, they say they want to eradicate homelessness, or they want to try to give people places to stay, but some people feel like if they cut certain government programs that people will be moved away or displaced from neighborhoods that they've always lived in. And so these are fears. Government advertises fear so it can sell its solutions. So you have people who prey upon the weak. They know you're afraid, so they want to sell you things to make you feel as though your fear is valid, so you need to buy all these guns, you need to buy all this security, and you need to get prepared for whatever this collapse of government, and you need to buy all of these different things and buy into all of these solutions so that you can be ready for whatever it is that's coming your way. And racism, it's big business in the US, in America. I don't think it ever will end because it sells books. It panders to different social groups, different racial groups, and even people who are of a part of that racial group will pander to their own people, their own class of people, or own race of people, to make money off, you know, selling books, or maybe they're posting things that make people feel like, well, you know, some of it is valid because there has been a lot of things that have gone on with police brutality, even in the black community. And so some of the things that people are posting is warnings to alert people in their population that this is real, this is imminent danger. But some people take advantage of that and they just want to profit off of it. So they want to sell their books, or they want you to come to their seminars, and they tell you all these good speeches, but they're not really doing anything, no footwork in the community to help, you know, bring back jobs, or, you know, bring, you know, opportunities to people who are disadvantaged. So you have belief in conspiracies, and I went over several of those, you know, the 9/11, JFK, aliens, global warming, government collapse, a new world order, Obama's birth certificate, AIDS, how it got here, the death of the Supreme Court Justice Scalia, And Fox News, do they tell the truth or are they liars? And a lot of people don't really trust some of the news stations. They feel like they contribute to some of the fear, 100%. And then the biggest fear that I've been seeing recently is North Korea. The talks of war, argument for war with North Korea is no argument at all. That's the article I was looking at. And the thing that I found most disturbing is I was reading, it's by Charlie Campbell. It said, whatever patience Washington had left for Kim Jong Un appears to be evaporating fast. Nikki Haley, the U.S. ambassador of the UN, said that North Korea leader Kim Jong Un was begging for war following the regime 6 nuclear tests September 3rd. Addressing the emergency meeting of the UN Security Council the following day, Haley said Washington did not want war, but its forbearance was not unlimited. So it goes on to talk more about it in Candid. It also mentioned something that I thought was really scary. It mentioned that one of the missiles, I was looking at it, it was saying that it was pointed toward, or it could possibly be pointed toward California, or it could reach California rather. So I'll leave the article in here so you can read it. I'll read that little portion. It says, it goes on to talk about Kim has 30 to 60 nuclear bombs. It says U.S. intelligence believes that he has this, and it says these may not be only the able to threaten the U.S. mainland quite yet. Analysts estimate, now this is a long name, correct me if I'm wrong, Pyongyang Yang. It's a name I cannot pronounce. Most advanced missiles such as Hwasong 12 that was launched over Japan last week could perhaps reach California. That I thought was pretty disturbing. So those are real fears that people have. So I'll leave the article in there so you can read it. Maybe you know. But anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great weekend. But we really do have some things to think about. Life is not promised to anyone. Take care. Peace.